Wow, 5 months ago, ladies and gentlemen, 5 months ago, we started the trend. It's crazy. Nobody was talking about this game until we actually started talking about it. And man, it's gained a lot of traction. Appreciate you guys and everybody who's still commenting on that video and still coming at me with theories on what's happening. And it's really cool to see everybody just, share that same love for this particular franchise and the possibility of it coming back for the PlayStation 5. So let's go ahead and talk about this, man. Insomniac Games, obviously, this has pretty much been proven to be Sony's most versatile studio that they've ever purchased, honestly. And it's cool to see them actually back with PlayStation. As you guys already know, they have been dropping bangers after bangers. They dropped Spider-Man, which came out in 2018. And then they dropped, Miles Morales, which came out last year. They have literally just been on a legit tirade. They have been killing the scene right now. And obviously with Twitter, they have been really vocal and very, just interactive with all of us. Obviously, we had Evan Forlarker on here, who's actually in the game with the Spidey Squad. That's such a big deal for just all of us in general. And it was cool having him on the channel and talking to him numerous times about this. I know a lot of you asked for him to come back. We'll definitely do that for Miles Morales. I'm going to reach out to him very soon. But right now, just stay tuned for that. But going back to what's happening with Resistance. So what exactly is going on and why are we even here and why is this getting so much traction? Well, again, it goes back to, it goes back recently now to PlayStation's latest comment. With PlayStation, they said that they actually are looking to bring back some existing franchises. Now, obviously, before they said that, Insomniac Games started tweeting about Resistance. Like, I'm talking way before this, way before they did this, they started tweeting about Resistance. And many people started to talk about, the possibility of this game coming back, especially in the comments on Twitter, and the potential of a reboot. And much more interest has been built up, even with Sony's latest comment. Now, to those of you that are a little confused by how Sony operates when it comes to bringing back stuff, let's go back to Crash Bandicoot for the PlayStation 4. For the PlayStation 4, Crash Bandicoot was shown literally in the trailer, and a lot of people didn't see him, but he was at the end of the trailer. They showed a silhouette of Crash, they showed the diamond, which represented the old school Sony logo, and then it had like a trash can, and basically it was saying that, Crash Bandicoot is going back to PlayStation in some particular fashion, and we didn't get more context to that until 3 years later when we actually got the official reveal. But in the time frame of us getting that game, Sony did a lot of hinting. You had Sony London show off Crash Bandicoot, talk about an anniversary, if I remember correctly. You had Sean Layden at a few E3s wear a Crash Bandicoot t-shirt. You had sound effects from Crash Bandicoot being put in trailers. I mean, the list legit went on, and that's what Sony does. They like to tease and definitely, draw stuff out as possible until you get that epic reveal. And granted, it was an epic reveal. I mean, Sony did this with their first ever orchestra type of show, and it was one of their best E3s of all time. And, the list goes on. So going back to Resistance Fallen Man, this does not surprise me whatsoever what Insomniac's doing. As you guys already know, they're bought by PlayStation. When Sony wants an initiative, they want to do something, they got to do it at the end of the day with their studios. And obviously, Insomniac Games is doing the same thing. Now, I'm going to go back to their tweets. This was actually posted. This is the latest one. This was posted on January 19th. For those of you that don't know what this is actually one of the taller Chimera from Resistance Part 3. It's funny. As big a fan as I am of Resistance, I did not all the way get into Resistance 3 like that. I played it a few times, beat the game, obviously, but I just couldn't really get into it as much because, stuff happening at the time. I would say the Resistance 1 will always be my all-time favorite just because of Parker's narration, but Resistance 2 is also a very, very good one, too, in terms of holding it up there, at a high note. But Resistance 3 also was really great, very grounded style Resistance game, and it was cool to play as another antagonist. So there's that. Before that, or after that, I'm sorry. No, actually, no. Before that, what am I saying? Before that, they posted another actual screenshot, and this is talking about the actual Titan. This Titan is from Resistance Part 2, where he actually throws you into the buildings. But before he throws you in the buildings, he tries to eat you, and you got to shoot him in the face with the rocket launcher. I remember this like it was yesterday because this game is just so good at that time. It's just so good. It was such a great set piece. And then before that, they talked about this right here. For those of you that don't know what this one right here is, this is from Resistance 2. And if I remember correctly, this seems more like it was from the multiplayer, but this is more single player related right here. I do think, though, it's probably related to... no, actually, no, it's not related to the multiplayer. It is single player related. But there's another tweet there for the game. Now, to go back again with the whole situation, I honestly, again, like I said in that video 5 months ago, whenever they do the announcement for this game, it's definitely going to be, you know, when we least expect it. Now, Sony is already having, you know, Insomniac's already working on like 2 games as we speak. We know for a fact they're making the other Spider-Man game because Miles Morales was kind of like a filler, kind of a tease of what's to come for the actual PlayStation 5. So we know the biggest installment, which is Spider-Man 2, is being worked on there. The second studio, however, we don't know what they're working on, and that's where the theories go around for this particular game. Obviously, SOCOM has been in a lot of conversation. You had games like what was it? God, what's the game called? Silent Hills. Silent Hills was one. Castlevania. There you go. Castlevania. And Metal Gear Solid. All these games have been mentioned, and with, you know, Sony saying they want to bring back existing franchises, these games fall into the category. So again, these games are going to happen. This game is definitely going to happen, just a matter of when. And I understand everybody's anxious to get more information on this, but it's definitely going to happen sooner rather than later. And when you look at the situation even further, remember how a lot of people have been asking Sony for more multiplayer type games? Obviously, SOCOM is another one that can be there to fill the slot, but Resistance 2 had good multiplayer. And I didn't play Resistance 1 multiplayer like that, so I can't comment it. But Resistance 2 has some pretty good multiplayer. I'm just saying, people, there is a possibility for some good, just some good upgrades to this game and going forward with the community. So there you guys go. There's the video for you. Not a whole bunch to really go over, but I mean, again, it's just a matter of piecing together the puzzle and what's happening here and why I believe we're going to see this game in some capacity, you know, in the future, that is. As far as what's happening right now, you know, we'll see when we get there, but I understand you guys are excited. I'm super excited. I can't wait to see what they do with Resistance and how well it will look with, you know, just the overall attention to detail, the ray tracing, you name it. But also, if they bring back Parker, the actual narrator of the first game, if they have her, if they redo the entire franchise, which I honestly think that's what's going to happen, it's going to be a full-fledged remake of all 3. If they do all 3, please, for the love of God, bring back Parker. Just bring back her voice actress. Just do that, please. Have her redo the actual telling of the story. It's so good. She's so good, man. She's underrated. I'm sorry. She's underrated in my honest opinion. She's underrated. But that's it. That's the video. I don't want to drag this video out longer. You know, I guess you can call this a theory piece if you want, but I mean, let's face it, guys. This is Sony we're talking about here. Sony is notorious for teasing and keeping stuff close to their chest, and when it eventually happens, it happens. But just know, I'm keeping my eye on Insomniac. Don't worry. I have not forgotten. I've seen everything. I'm keeping my eye open, and when that announcement does happen, or when we do see that reveal, best believe we will be back here to talk about it and be even more excited for the future of Resistance and what Insomniac Games is doing with Sony in the future. Obviously, Uncharted, we haven't seen the last of Uncharted, you name it. All these games are definitely coming back in some capacity, and we're definitely going to see them. But until then, that's pretty much it for this particular video. Do want to say thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. Appreciate it. You guys be blessed. Y'all be easy. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Later.
As the tower fell, Chimeran creatures began to shriek and writhe on the ground. They died within minutes. We believe they were simply unable to survive the loss of the angels. The significance of our victory in London wasn't understood for several days. The reactor meltdown caused a chain reaction that destroyed all the towers in the network. At least in Britain, the Chimera were defeated. We have investigated the ruins of 5 towers so far. As we attempt to reverse engineer the complex technologies we find, the mystery of the Chimera only deepens. With combat subsided, the soldiers have been searching the rural villages for survivors. So far, we found 921 hiding in bunkers and basements, 78 of them children. Cartwright's youngest daughter, Angela, was among them. As for Nathan Hale, his body was never recovered. He was presumably incinerated inside the tower. The American military lists him as killed in action, July the 14th, 1951. A part of me still believes he might have escaped somehow. I even thought I heard his voice on the radio just after the tower exploded. I'll never know for sure.